back. We back, man. We back at it again with another one, another thrilling installment of Scoutcast. It should be fun. What's good with you, my guy?
I am just hanging out, and when the regular season is over, draft season begins, and so here we be in draft season. Jeff and Voch, like they never left. Hello, everybody. Hey, you okay if I pay bills real quick?
Okay, I'm live. We good. You live on your side, Jeff?
I'm live, I think. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it's the first time we don't have our guy Skywalker still, man. You know, point guarding for us. If we could ever find a time to do this in the daytime, we'll have a better guy to do it. Yeah, we good. We here. Goddamn, we good, brother Jeff.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
No, see, I can't. See, the problem is you see your name on the thing here is Voch, which if you're watching on my channel, hi, I'm Jeff Cavanaugh. Nice to see you. You see, as I added 97 the freak to the bottom instead of what it used to say. And we're live until 7 p.m. on weekdays. And so I don't want to go up against my own station. That would be mean, even though it's written in my contract that I can do whatever I want on YouTube, because that's part of securing the bag is keeping your stuff. But still, I'm going to have to be an evening. I'm going to have to be an evening man.
I'm going to put Voch the volume so that your side understands boom where to find me at. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. All right, listen, this is our first installment of Scoutkast. It has been a minute, and real talk, brother Jeff, we behind, man. We are behind on a lot of the draft stuff because Cowboys been winning. When the Cowboys win, we tend to push these connections, these shows back a little bit, but we are here, brother Jeff, and we're gonna build this plane while it's in the air. It's gonna get a little cleaner, it's gonna get a little smoother. We're gonna actually have a background for this, or maybe not. We may just live and die by the content, but we appreciate all y'all for being here. Jeff, let's kind of dig around till when you said 7:30, 7:40.
Yeah, whatever. It turns out I'm not in a rush. I thought I was gonna go. I thought I had a thing, but I don't have a thing. So It doesn't matter, but I figured this would be set the stage because somebody already asked, like, have you guys scouted anyone yet? I've literally watched 7 players, but I don't want to talk about those 7 players because it doesn't matter. I figured this would be the stage set of Scoutcast.
Oh, Jeff, are you saying that the Cowboys not going to cut Dak Prescott or trade him for some first round picks to trade up to go get CJ Stroud? Are you saying that's not a possibility for us, sir?
No, that's not going to happen. There's a salary cap. So no. I mean, if you want to get super wild ass and like Anthony Richardson gets to 26 and that's your Pat Mahomes, Alex Smith situation, you guys can have all the fun you want with it. All right. I'll entertain anything. I love having a good time, but Dak is going to be your quarterback. So,
well, you won't see Voch entertaining any tomfoolery of that nature. So it is what it is. But what we can talk about is and Jeff, tell me if I'm wrong. I got this down to 3 pretty much 3 guys, right? Or 3 spots, 3 positions I would take. I don't know where I'm gonna take them at. Actually, I'll go ahead and do this since this is the first installment and we just lost and we got this. We got the 26 overall pick, 58, 90, 128, a 4th round compensatory pick for Randy Gregory, 161, 2 6th-round compensatory picks for Connor Williams and Cedric Wilson, and pick 245 in the 7th round. Now, Jeff, hear me out. The last 2 drafts, right? We have overwhelmingly supported this Cowboys defense. One year it was 8 players. The other year it was like 5 or so defensive guys or whatever. I would love for us out of these 9 picks here, brother Jeff, I would love to draft 5 offensive players, right? Because people can say all they want to say, bro. And I'm not going to defend Dak Prescott because he played bad. But when you playing the number 1 defense, you cannot roll out Noah Brown. You can't roll out 31 Ty. You can't roll out one leg Michael Gallup. So in my mind, and I just hope Zeke's gone by the time we do this again next year in the playoffs. So in my mind, what we need, brother Jeff, is a left side offensive lineman. And that'll really seal shit up because, Terrence Steele coming back, him and Zach Martin was fantastic. Tyler Smith can play both. So assuming that you find a stud that play tackle, leave Tyler at guard. You find a stud that can play guard, put Tyler at tackle. Move on with your life. Bijan is fine where he is. Give me a left side offensive lineman. Give me a wide receiver, too, that's better than Noah Brown and Jalen Tolbert, one leg Micah, and 31 T.Y. Hilton, however old T.Y. Hilton is, and get me a running back in those later rounds. We're going to have a conversation about Bijan Robinson at some point because that's the big Cowboy talk, brother Jeff. But those are my top 3 positions. Besides that, go get a swing interior guy, get a tight end, get a linebacker, get a one tech, do what you got to do. But those are the 3 that I want, Jeff.
Yeah, and I think part of the stage setting to me is we don't know for sure who's going to be back. Like if Connor McGovern's super cheap, maybe you have a left guard. If Leighton Vander Esch is still super cheap, maybe you don't need a linebacker as bad. What's happening with Tyron? Is Tyron going to come to camp and play right tackle until Terrence Steele's ready to play next year? Is Tyron Smith going to get cut to save $9 million? Is Tyron Smith going to get traded? Is Tyron Smith going to be your swing everything with the $17 million cap number? You got that going on. What's happening at corner? Is McQuamu going to be part of the cornerback room now? Anthony Brown's going to be gone. Jordan Lewis is back. You got Blandon Diggs. Are you good there? Are you still wanting one there? But I think the thing that we will have no debate about whatsoever is that Jeff will be happy. This is third person Jeff here. Jeff will be happy because this team needs a receiver. And my God, do I love receivers. I'm going to spend the next week watching the 30 best receivers in the draft.
Watch them all.
And I'm going to be ready to get one. And by the way, I just want to throw this out there because it's part of securing the bag. Anybody who's watching right now, do you like to gamble? Do you like to put action on the games? Do you like to get a little extra something going on? BetOnline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, and that'll get you a 50% sign-up bonus on your first deposit. And you could bet against the Cowboys if you don't believe, or you could bet on whatever sport. Maybe you want to watch the people who fight each other in the little cage dealy. No matter what, BetOnline's got you covered. It's BetOnline.ag. You use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, and you get a 50% sign-up bonus. Wah! Bag secured. Hey, Voch.
And while y'all watching MMA, beat the shit out of that like button since y'all ain't doing nothing else. You hear me? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yep. Okay, cool.
Also, make sure you're taking care of your downstairs. Voch, do you have to do that?
With Manscaped. But look, it ain't just about shaving balls no more, Jeff. We got beard kits and shit. You know what I mean? We got draws that we try. We got Manscaped everything now, brother Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Manscaped.com, promo code VOCH, VOCH20, VOCH20 gets 1% off free ship, and they ship internationally. Appreciate y'all, Swatty Cop. Brother Jeff, I love what you said. By it depends on who comes back. You said 2 names there. You said Connor McGovern. Hate it. Vander Esch. We can work with some Leighton Vander Esch. Vander Esch has played an incredible game of football. It's like since he's come back, I'm not saying that Vander Esch is transitioning into Sean Lee territory. You know what I mean? But it seems like the handful of young dudes that's on your team, especially the dudes that got to run around and tackle people, they play better when Vander Esch is around, right? If we listen to Dan Quinn talk, he's like, communication, you guys got to talk. You guys got to talk. So Vander Esch talking to JK, talking to Malik behind him or something like that. Deron Bland talks a little bit too. Those dudes talking really gets dudes in place or whatever, right? A couple of those games where JK was out, where Vander Esch was out, Damone Clark was looking a little lost. It is what it is, right? We're a young team at heart, but I still do think that you got to keep them, them older guys around. You can sign me up for one more year of Vander Esch, one more year of Hankins. We can fly. So in terms of when I say drafting linebacker out of these 9 picks next year, I mean like special teams linebacker. Draft me like one of them Devin Harper type linebackers later on. But I really feel like we've put so much into this defense, Jeff, right? Like next year, we're going to have a year 3 Osa, Chauncey, Bo, year 3 Micah Parsons, year 2 Deron Bland, year 3 Izzy, year 2 Sam Williams. Like we got dudes, brother Jeff. Like we've super invested into this defense, right? And the only young offensive players that we got are the tight ends, Jalen Tolbert and Tyler Smith, right? So in my mind, Jeff, if we really gonna prioritize something, we talking about them first 3 picks. I'm gonna throw you a little curveball in a minute. We talking about them first 3 picks. Man, I really want to beat the shit out of the offensive line to see if we can find a good one. You know what I'm saying? Connor McGovern just made me throw up. And Tyler Smith proved to be a stud, Jeff. I apologize. Cowboys just understand what they're doing way better than Voch, or they just develop players way quicker than I ever thought that they could. Tyler Smith is a dude for you, Jeff. And whether he's playing guard or tackle, I feel fantastic about him doing that. Whatever left side player you draft, you could just play mix and match with those dudes. And we gotta find somebody better than Noah Brown and one leg Gallup and 31 TY. This ain't gotta be hard, bro. It's probably gonna be best player available. And I just hope that the best player available is an offensive player, Jeff. But that's the only direction that I'm really looking for, unless we got some stud at corner or some stud at, one tech like Jalen Carter, rob the bank or something.
Okay, sir, man, you're gonna have to get two Laramie Tunsil masks to get Jalen Carter. He's one of the 7 guys I watched, but I didn't have to because I had notes from him last year where even though he wasn't allowed to play, I was just like, hey, be ready for him next year. He's the best Georgia player and he's not allowed to be drafted yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the wide receiver thing, it'd be great if Jalen Tolbert could turn into something, but for a dude who couldn't even be active and Dennis Houston was playing over him. And I don't know how many people like the nerd numbers, but there was a great nerd number thing that I shared on Twitter at Time for Jeffrey earlier today. And it was all the pass catchers on the Cowboys when they're targeted and their EPA, their expected points added. And it's like, all right, when you throw to CD, good shit happens. The chart has a really long bar next to it. And the one next to Zeke and Gallup and Brown and Dalton Schultz, they all go the opposite direction. It's negative EPA. Your team does not expect to score more points the play after you threw to any of those dudes. And I think that all of them will be gone or not targeted anymore. I need somebody to help CD. One of the guys who is positive, even though he didn't play a whole bunch, was Jake Ferguson. And so we're going to get into the dangerous territory of projecting replacing Dalton Schultz, who, if he plays every game, catches 80 or 90 passes and 7 or 8 touchdowns. And we're going to project to a guy who hasn't done much in the NFL yet. And yet I'm going to go into it and say, I think you can get better tight end play with a guy who has barely even played. So like, I'm okay at tight end. Offensive line's the wild card because we got to figure out, is Connor McGovern still going to be hanging out? And what are we doing with Tyron Smith? And when's Terrence Steele going to be back? But we're going to get a wide receiver. And we're going to have to work through running backs because what is Pollard? I hate when the word ligament is in the story about somebody's injury. But supposedly he'll be fine in 3 months. And if he is, rock and roll. If you want to franchise tag Pollard, fine. I still need to cut Zeke because I need that $10 million. And a lot of people who are watching right now are going to be very upset because Dak is going to get restructured because I need that $22 million to spend on this year's team. And then we're going to go pick 5 wide receivers.
People can dislike Dak all they want to, bro. But everybody said it. And for some reason, all that talk kind of goes away when we go into the playoffs and we do well. Oh, Voch, we're gonna regret this whole not having Amari Cooper thing. You know what I mean? We're gonna, we're gonna regret XYZ, bro. Man, the 49ers they were the number 1 defense, bro. The number 1 defense, bro. And me and Will still said this earlier. Shouts out to the homie Skywalker still, right? We said this earlier. When you get into the postseason, you have to find a way to play mismatch with somebody. You got to play find the scrub with somebody. If you Dallas and you verse San Francisco, who do you play find the scrub with?
Well, it's actually supposed to be Lenore, and he's the dude who picked you off.
It's supposed to be Lenore, but with who? With who are we picking on Lenore with? That's my problem, brother Jeff. Now, if the whole trade deadline rumor came true, right? Because there was a little, we was trying to get Jerry Jeudy during a little trade deadline or whatever. If you'd have got a guy like Jerry Jeudy, you can take CeeDee Lamb, do whatever with him. They can take CeeDee Lamb away. You dump off the Schultz, you work Jerry Jeudy versus Lenore, you might be on to something. But you mean to tell me, brother Jeff, we walked our ass in our offensive meeting and we say, Lenore, gonna put Noah Brown on that ass and really thought that you was gonna come away with something, brother Jeff. Moving on, we ain't gotta get into that. To your question that you asked me though, brother Jeff, if Zeke did get a pay cut, would you want him back anyway?
No, and I hate it because I don't like being mean to people, and people think that I hate Zeke. But when Steele got hurt the second half of the year, he averaged 2.6 yards a carry. For the year, he was under 4 yards a carry. Pollard was over 5. So, I mean, even if you say, hey, he's a team leader and we love him, and instead of counting 17 million against the cap, he's willing to count 8. 8 is still one of the 10 highest paid running backs in football. And Zeke is not an NFL starter, I don't think. And I mean, I have everything in the world to back it up. The only thing that backs up people thinking that he's still good is that he was picked number 4 and that they own his jersey. He seems like a great teammate and a dude that's awesome. I want the money for him not being here, unless he wants to play for $1 million. He was play for $1 million to run the ball on 3rd and 1. But other than that, no. I don't want anybody in the organization to be able to go to the coaches and say, hey, make sure Zeke gets the ball now. He got the ball more than Pollard this year, and that's stupid. It's just stupid. And they showed you when they were going into a playoff game that they didn't know if they could win, that they knew who the better back was all along, because Tony Pollard was going to play the whole game until he got rolled up on. And they'll just go right back to it. It's a long season. We're going to need both. And no, I don't want him. No.
He could be making Rico Dowdle money. I'm out. Because this is my problem, Jeff.
The Malik kid is probably better than him.
Yes. I see a lot of people saying this, things like this, Jeff, like let him play the Jerome Bettis role. They'll say something like
Jerome
that.
Bettis was a starter.
You know what I'm saying? Or even if that's the case, though, Jeff, I even saw somebody say, "Well, yeah, here we go, right here, Trap." He say, make him a fullback. First of all,
okay,
Sean McEwen is plenty fine at fullback, but this is my problem, Jeff. I just don't think Zeke's good enough. No matter how. And look, I'm with you, Jeff. I don't want to say nothing mean by nobody. Once upon a time, Zeke mama followed me on Twitter, and I bet she's seen one of these videos. Her ass don't follow me on Twitter no more. I bet she'd seen something I said about Zeke. Jeff, I don't care how much money there is for Zeke to make. I just don't think he's a good player no more. And if he's going to be on this team in any capacity, he's going to be getting the ball somewhere. And in my mind, I'd rather a better player be getting those 5 or 6 carries somewhere. Because it's my problem, Jeff. We're allowing Zeke to live off old bodies, right? We can't be like, oh, well, Zeke's a fantastic blocker. Well, so is Sean McEwen, and Tony Pollard has evolved as a blocker. Zeke's blocking ain't keeping him here, right? Oh, well, Zeke is a power back. No, he's not anymore. Zeke ain't the power back that he used to be. You can't take Zeke and be like, oh, we're going to use him like A.J. Dillon, right? He's not effective enough to be an A.J. Dillon. You know what Zeke is? Even when you see him run, Zeke don't run like a power back. Zeke run like a slow Tony. Zeke ass be trying to go sideways and shit, and it just don't be, his body just, it's just not, Jeff. It's not. So if Zeke's going to be on this team at any capacity, even if that means Tony's catching a break and Zeke getting 6 carries, 7 carries a game, in my mind, those are still automatic negative plays to me.
Yeah.
And that could be Malik Davis. Go on.
I mean, even the things that people in their brain want to, because like I even defaulted to it. Like if you want to give it to him on the goal line or 3rd down or whatever, but you can even stack those up side by side. Tony Pollard success rate, yards per carry, everything on 3rd and 1 with 8 in the box, on 4th and 1, on whatever. It does not matter what diagram you draw up. Tony Pollard is a way better short yardage back than Zeke. That's a fact. And yet we've got it in our brains that, well, he's very strong and he is not better at 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 than Pollard. And it feels like piling on at this point. And so I kind of feel bad doing it, but yeah, I think Zeke he's 28. He got a lot of freaking carries on his body. He used to be an incredible running back and he's not anymore. And that's that. And so you go find a 22-year-old that hadn't been beat up yet and you give him those carries.
Brother Jeff,
I see Pollard get stuff so many times. You're remembering what you want to remember. You can literally get on the internet and you can Google running back numbers versus stack boxes on 3rd and short, 4th and short, conversion rate, whatever you want to. And Pollard wins. He's better at it.
Tell him, boys. 2 things I really want to bring to this running back conversation, Jeff, because I don't want to forget it, right? 2 things I want to bring to you. Ezekiel Elliott, and this ain't us piling on Zeke. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. I'm only using this to make another point. Actually, let me hold that point because that's gonna do big transition. One day we're gonna talk about Kellen Moore and what he does here, right? Scott Walker still brought this to my attention today. It almost made me sick, Jeff. You know how many times Austin Eckler caught the ball this year?
I would guess I don't have anything in front of me, but I would guess 80.
He was in the hundreds, brother Jeff. We were like 108 or something. You don't know how many times Tony Pollard caught the ball this year?
I would guess between 30 and 40.
45.
Okay.
45. That's a big
Pollard's going to be somebody's. If you don't tag him, he's going to be somebody's Austin Eckler. He's going to average 5 yards a carry. He's going to catch 80 to 100 balls for 800 yards, and he's going to be a freaking stud as long as his leg's okay. He's going to be that for somebody, and he should have been that for you the last 2 years.
He should have been, but I just think they did that Jason Witten thing with Zeke though. You know what I'm saying? They did the whole, you're our guy, we're loyal to you, and we just gonna till you die, not death really, but till you football die. We just gonna run you out there and we just gonna try to win with you. I think that's terrible football. You understand what I'm saying? One last thing I'm gonna say. The last thing we're gonna say about Mean Zeke, and I just generally want your thoughts and opinions on this, Jeff. And then we're going to get into draft talk. We can move on from Zeke and Tony. How long do you think an elite running back remains elite? With the notion that if they're going to be the guy on your team, they're going to be getting the carries, right? So how long was Zeke that guy for us? Or how long is a guy like Jonathan? You know, those type of guys, right? Zeke was elite for us for like what, 3 years? And
I would
then
say
he
three.
went like good, something like that.
Yeah, I would say 3. And some guys can maybe make that 4 or 5. The problem is by the time that you've paid a guy, his second contract is the exact same time that he's going to stop being as good at it.
To that point, Jeff, I think that's exactly why the Cowboys can't draft Bijan Robinson, even if he's there at 26. We see it all the time, Jeff. No matter how much faith Christian McCaffrey may be the only one that this may slide on, and that's because he catch the ball a bunch, or he's been hurt a lot, and he's got just a lot less tread on his tires.
Overrated.
I ain't even mad at you, Jeff. But he's
not even better than Elijah Mitchell. He's a better receiver. He's a really good receiver.
Fantastic receiver, but as a running back, whatever. We see it all the time with these guys, Jeff. They just rack up all this mileage. We see it with Jonathan Taylor already, bro. They just rack up all this mileage because they have to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? And they just, by the time they're in year 3, they're worn down, right? To the inverse of that, if you draft an offensive lineman, you draft a wide receiver, those dudes get really good by year 3, right? You draft a running back, those dudes may be done by year 3. So that's going to be, every time somebody asks me, Jeff, that's going to be my biggest point and my biggest case of why, even if Bijan Robinson is there, I don't think you can take him, because this all is evidence all around the league that you can take a day 2 or day 3 guy. As long as your offensive line is in order, them dudes will be good for you, Jeff. San Francisco's notorious for that, right? As long as your O-line is in order, you can get quality reps out of a later round back, and those later round backs will be here. Bijan Robinson is an amazing talent. I almost called you Will Steele. Jeff Cavanaugh. He's an amazing talent. I just don't think that bang and that buck gonna add up, my guy.
I believe everything you just said is accurate, and I agree with every single bit of it. And Bijan is awesome. It's one of those things.
Multiple things can be true, Jeff.
Yes, it's one of those things where it's like, I absolutely don't want to pick that position with that draft pick, but once they've done it, I'll be sure to tell you just how badass this guy's going to be. Bijan is a freaking stud. But also, running back is so reliant on other things. Najee Harris, 2 years in, has carried the ball 800 times and can't average 4 carry because the Steelers can't block. Like, I do think Bijan is special in that he'll be like Pollard and Chubb, where he'll be in the top 3 in the league and breaking tackles, and he will be better than whatever other guy gets the ball. Mm-hmm. And if the Cowboys end up with Bijan Robinson, sure, I'll be there to tell you that I think 5 years from now, you'll look back and be like, what if we picked that receiver? Or what if we picked that offensive lineman? But for those first 4, we're going to have fun.
We're going to have fun, brother.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
And then just plus, bro, I just don't think running back is an emergency like that. You know what I mean? I think my wide receiver position is a flat ass emergency right now. You know
what if you said $20 million? What if you didn't tag Pollard? You let him walk. You get a comp pick from whoever signs him to a big contract. You cut Zeke. I'm saving $20 million, and I'm going to have a rookie running back get all the touches.
Give me an O lineman, bro. Give me an O lineman. So whoever that second round, Tony Pollard 3rd round pick, give me that 3rd round guy behind this new offensive line with this year 2 Tyler, with whoever the hell going to be on the left side with him, whether it be Tyron or some new guy. You know what I'm saying? Biadish, Kratos, and Terrence Steele, who deserves more money. We should be talking about that soon. Bro, like, I'm just out on big name running back now. I'm just out on him, bro.
I mostly am. I mostly am too. Like, I'll recognize that if you get one that's really, really good, I'll be excited to see how good he's going to be and how much he can help you. But I'm still a very firm believer in that you can get, somebody said in the chat, something around 90% of the production for, 5% of the cost of like Zeke's yearly money. And so You can get by at running back. If you can block, I can find you running backs. You pick one in the 4th and grab one in the 7th, and I got you 2 running backs, and we'll figure this out, and you'll be fine. But if you did bring me Bijan Robinson, I would pick him in fantasy.
Do you? Look, I'm smiling if he's here, brother Jeff. Don't get me mistaken. I just would feel like that we could do better things with that guy. But it is.
It'd be like this. They should not have made that pick. This is not a good pick, but
God damn, boy.
And he's gonna run for 1,500 and catch 80 passes.
And to be fair, that may be good for Dak. That may be good for those guys. Yeah. Go ahead. That may be good for Dak. To just have, for it to just not be on him. Because look, the 49ers saw that. Tony got hurt. The 49ers did not respect Zeke at all. They say, all right, cool. Dak gonna be the guy here. Cool. Let's just go ahead and lock up these little scrubs at wide receiver, and we'll dare you to run the ball with Zeke. And we ran the ball with Zeke while they dared us to run the ball with Zeke, and nothing happened, Jeff, because Zeke is Zeke. And I ain't saying nothing else bad about Zeke, but you just probably want to have an option there. When they try to take Dak away, you want to have an option in the run game. I'm thinking Tony Romo, Jeff. You know what I mean? Romo was always a good guy, you know what I mean? But you didn't want to throw the ball 40 times with him. You know what I mean? You bring that number down to 25, 30, and I think Dak can throw the ball for you 30 times or whatever, right? But just have that option to where, all right, we're going to play defense because that defense is going to be there because they're all drafted guys. This ain't like the Rams. This ain't like F them picks, right? All them dudes going to be there. Just have this run game option. Have that defense. And then for Dak to throw the ball whenever we need to.
Trade for DeAndre Hopkins. And then draft a wide receiver.
Who are these 7 draft picks that you've watched so far? Because I haven't watched a soul. I start next week. I'm lazy.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Google Docs. Jeff's giant big board of football players, 2023. We have watched. So on my board, I put at the top of the defensive line group in all capital letters, Carter forever, instead of just putting Jalen Carter's name.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him. I watched Will Anderson, the Alabama rusher. I watched Wilson, the Texas Tech rusher, Murphy, the Clemson guy, Ringo, the Georgia corner, and Jordan Addison, the USC wide receiver.
I hate corners. I'm never watching corners. I got Peter
No, Northwestern dude.
Northwestern Peter. I got Paris Johnson from Ohio State. Of course, I got the offensive lineman lined up here, and you got the wide receivers.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch 20 wide receivers this week. We'll meet back up next week, and I'm gonna just rip through all of them.
This will be the first time that both of us are right, because we always, you know what I'm saying, like draft the wide receiver every year, draft the offensive lineman every year. This first time we're right. Broderick Jones, offensive lineman from Georgia. I got him queued up. Jalen Carter's queued up. Will Anderson. I've watched Will Anderson. What you think about? You think?
Do we want to do this right out of the gate?
I
I know I'm going to be wrong, and I'm fine with it. Like Will Anderson is good. He's an explosive player.
That motherfucker don't pop off the film though, huh, Jeff?
The Tech guy is better. And I'm going to be wrong. Like the Tech guy is a 5th-year guy, but the Tech dude runs through people on every play, plays the hell out of the run, dog walks you to the quarterback. Like Anderson, yes, he's a twitched-up athlete, but I'm not seeing Vaughn or Micah level turn the corner and finish. And I'm going to be wrong, but I like the Tech guy better than I like Will Anderson.
We're talking about Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech versus Will Anderson from Alabama. Now, of course, Jeff Cavanaugh, to be fair, we got a long time to change our mind about this shit. We got from now to May. We got from now to the end of April to change our mind about this shit. So don't even worry about it. Senior Bowl's coming up. But
I'm also going to tell Giovanni in the chat, keep that same energy. Enjoy Chiefs football next year when Sky Moore goes for 1,200 yards.
Yeah, Sky Moore going to go crazy, bro.
He's going to go off.
It was just a whole bunch of dudes in that offense this year. Just, you know what I mean? Just didn't get around to the rookie boy, but he going to go up. He's going to go crazy. Who else I got? Bijan Robinson, of course, we want to talk about him. Miles Murphy. He's another edge guy, Clemson dude. I haven't watched him yet, but he's.
I saw some of him because I watched the Clemson D line. I'm trying to remember which one he was. Is he not the
good one?
Is Murphy the one I watched? Hold on, where's my little board? Oh, Murphy is the one I watched. Yeah, he's gonna be another one that you're gonna watch, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I see an athletic, strong dude, but I don't see a great football player. It's gonna be a weird draft.
Sure. Then of course, like I said, Tyree Wilson, Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. One more thing I want to do with you before we leave, brother Jeff, is I just kind of want to recap the rookies that played for us last week and just talk about have they earned their first team spot? You know, are they going to be safe moving on, or have they enabled us to not want to draft anybody at that position? I think that'll be fun. We all agree Tyler is a guy, right? Tyler Smith is a dude.
Yeah, whether he's going to be the left tackle or the left guard, he's going to start 17 games next year, and he's going to be a 5-year starter, and then we'll see where he's at.
Would you rather him at guard or tackle?
I would honestly rather him at guard, but
100%.
My guess is that he's going to be the tackle because I don't think they trust Tyron's health, but we'll see.
Which is why, if we're going to draft the left side offensive lineman, I would love if that dude is a tackle. So that I think Tyler would be a good tackle. I think that dude is an all-pro guard, though, brother Jeff.
I do too.
That's how I
feel.
Yeah. One more thing on that though, Jeff. I asked my audience this today on the volume on YouTube. Y'all go check me out Monday through Thursday, actually, 3 p.m. Central.
Yeah, so, you don't even work Fridays?
I don't remember. Fridays, bro. When we do that, bro. I mean, shouts out to Colin Cowherd, but I ain't working Fridays. Listen, so Jeff, last year the Cowboys were in this conversation, right? It was like 3 players on the board that if they fell to a certain territory, we would consider trading up for them. Drake London was a guy like that. Charles Cross was a guy like that. And thank God we ain't get Trevor Penny. Thank God we just let the board kind of fall to us. But that was some of the rumors that we were hearing, but those guys went off the board too soon. The Cowboys drafting at 26 this year. Do you think the Cowboys would possibly be like, all right, we got a lot of dudes in a lot of places, but we need dudes. Like, we need studs. Do you think that there's any chance that the Cowboys move up to get a better dude as opposed to just keeping those picks and getting a lot of guys?
Maybe, but I think that would be unlike them. I think they're usually more likely to go down than up, and I'm captain trade down. I don't believe in going up because that just makes you way too cocky in your own evaluations. I think you just let it come to you. But also 26 is the reason we're going to hear this Bijan stuff.
Yeah.
Because if this were 2016, Bijan Robinson goes in the top 5. If he were in Todd Gurley's year, he goes in the top 5. And now we're in 2023 and teams don't do that. So a guy who would have gone in the top 5 will possibly be there at 26. And so that's why we're going to talk about running back.
Well, it's interesting. And you know, trading up for a running back is madness. But I do think the Cowboys ended up with the best left tackle he definitely better than goddamn Charles Cross. I will say that he's better. Tyler Smith better than Charles Cross just by the play that he played this year. But Drake London would have been fun if we'd have traded up to get Drake London. That would have been fun to go have that dude, and we wouldn't have to worry about Noah Brown. That would have been amazing. So,
London, Olave, Garrett Wilson, they were all good shit. Even Traylon Burks.
It was hard to miss. It was hard to miss, guys. Yeah, George fucking Pickens. We could have got him in the first.
George Pickens.
Anyway, so yeah. Tyler Smith is solidified. We don't think that Dante Fowler is going to be here. You think Billy D. Sam Williams just steps right into that role and he'll be fine?
I hope so. If not, they screwed that pick up bad. Because like when he was out there, he kept making tackles for loss. He kept making plays, and yet they didn't play him a lot, which means the coaches were worried about him in some way, whether it's probably just assignment wise. But I think Sam Williams showed enough that, I think he ideally is, well, not ideally, he's in the mix. Like your edge guys are Parsons, Tank, Sam, and Dorrance. And that's the guys who play pretty much all the snaps.
I think Sam played well enough for us to move on from Basham, which was interesting. Brother Jeff, you think what you think going on with Jalen Tolbert, man? What you think? Do you think he develops into a guy that we could do something with, or is he gonna be one of them Cedric Wilson characters where he just hangs around, he learned how to tackle people, he learned how to kick return, and he just gonna be in the 4th year or something, maybe he'll be a 3rd receiver?
I have no idea, because I mean he couldn't even play.
Nothing.
Like in week 1, Dennis Houston started for this team.
Yep.
Just an undrafted free agent. We're just going to put that guy out there. And then Noah Brown and Gallup when he can't get open, and he couldn't be the 4th guy, and he couldn't even get active. And so I'm going to go into year 2 with no expectations. If Jalen Tolbert makes the team and is active on game days, I'll just call that a pleasant surprise. I'm going into year 2 of Jalen Tolbert with 0 expectations because they were clearly terrified to even put him in a football game.
If you can find a way to get something out of Jalen Tolbert, but you still draft a number 2 receiver anyway, then I think the offense, pretty much gets a little better. But man, just Jalen Tolbert lined up off sides one day, bro. You right next to the ref, bro. You lined up at corner, dog. Like just
he got outplayed by Simi, Noah, Dennis Houston. Is Dennis Houston in the league? And I don't know.
He's a practice squad guy with us, I think. But regardless of what happened at wide receiver, Noah Brown was your number 2 guy, and we had to go get T.Y. Hilton. Like that's how bad it was at wide receiver.
And he was unemployed, sitting at home.
Crazy. I got big plans for Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson can be my tight end 1 next year, and all that money that you saved at running back, I can save a little more at tight end. Move on from shows. Dak loves shows, but I'm sure Dak can elevate whatever tight end that we're with. Give me some more Jake Ferguson, Jeff. You agree with that?
Yeah, I'm great with Jake Ferguson. I think he, you see it like every damn time he catches the ball, he hurdles somebody, he outruns somebody, he breaks a tackle, he brings an element that Dalton Schultz doesn't have. Dalton was a dude that Dak knew and trusted, and he's fine. But I think Jake's got some juice, and your tight end is going to be, I bet you get an extra yard or 2 per catch out of tight end next year. I'm good with Jake.
I think instead of paying tight ends like paying for Dalton Schultz or whatever, I kind of like the constant revolving door at tight end to me. You know what I mean? So next year it'll be Jake, Hendershot, Sean McEwen doing fullback things. Sometimes that'll be his last year. And then we'll go find another tight end. We'll draft or undraft free agent that tight end. So when it's time to pay Jake, we just don't. And whoever the next dude is, we just cycle them dudes in and out. You know what I mean?
Do it.
Yep, and we'll just rotate 4th round tight end with undrafted dude. It just makes sense to me. Almost done. I'm gonna let you go, Jeff. You think Matt will? Now I know we don't like Josh Ball in this house. I know we don't like Josh Ball in this house. But you think Jason Peters probably won't come back and play football for us? Do you think Matt Willetsko will be good enough to be a swing tackle or a backup?
Voch, I don't have a Matt Willetsko opinion. To me, he might as well not exist. Josh Ball might as well not exist. I'll give you a Willetsko update in July or August. Let me see him back on a football field because I never saw him.
Don't say mean things about Willetsko, brother.
I won't. I just like to say, well, let's go.
Well, let's go.
Like you're saying, well, let's go, and it's fun.
Bet your ass got something to say about Deron Bland, though, brother Jeff. I think Deron Bland made it to where you don't have to draft corner. I would move him to CB2. Jordan Lewis comes back. He'll be your first team nickel guy. Trey Diggs on the outside. You could draft depth if you would like. We're probably going to move on from whoever, whether it be like Nashawn or like Kelvin or something like that. Izzy will be a guy. But I think Deron Bland is probably going to be starting at one of those cornerback spots for you. I know you feel good about him.
Yeah, if possible, I'd probably like to use one of my first 3 or 4 picks on a corner. Problem is that they've kind of sucked at it. Thank God they found Deron Bland because the Joseph one was a bomb and the Nashawn one was a bomb.
Izzy's cool.
We like one of them. Who?
Diggs and Izzy. Those are good drafts.
Yeah, those worked. And Izzy was a college corner that they're like, no. And then it was like, we ran out of corners. Izzy, you go try it. And they're like, oh shit.
And come back. that same Chris Richard. Look, Chris Richard was a head coach candidate. And I want Byron Jones to go back to his original position. Fuck spitting, brother. We need some Chris Richard now, because he screamed on the sideline and said Byron Jones not no damn safety. The same thing happened with Israel Cuomo. I'll be damn.
Yeah, no, Bland was the treasure of that draft. Bland was the best pick in terms of value. It's awesome.
Oh my goodness, boy. Cowboy fans was loving Chris Richard when they saw him screaming at people, but we still gave up the most points in the league, boy. They was loving my boy Chris. Damone Clark. I kind of said what I thought about him earlier. Jeff, we got 1,000 people watching live. We appreciate y'all.
You really?
Appreciate y'all for being here.
I don't see the numbers because you're in control of the room. I also didn't see the super chats. If anybody super chatted, just know that I love you forever.
Well, I'm gonna read mine. Jeff is gonna ignore his people. I'm gonna read mine in a minute.
Is the chats? Do the chats I see? Is that both of us or just mine? I don't know.
That's both of us.
Oh, okay. Where was I?
Damone Clark.
Oh, Damone Clark. I think that the Cowboy world got real excited about a good story about a dude who had no camp or anything and then got activated and got to play. And I would say that for a guy picked on day 3 coming off of spinal fusion, I will not be negative about his play, but I also didn't really see anything other than I can run fast and tackle. So if he is a good player next year, that'll be great. I don't think I've seen that yet.
Honestly, though, Jeff, this should be our fault, man. You know what I mean? Like, Jabril Cox falls to the 4th round, most likely for a reason.
He can play.
But we go, oh shit, Jabril Cox in the 4th round, and everybody kind of get hyped by Jabril Cox. I think the same thing happened to Damone Clark, right? Damone Clark was a guy that, I mean, he was probably like, what, a 2nd round guy on your board?
According to the world, I had him in the 4th. I didn't love him on tape.
Yeah. I wasn't as high on him. He was probably like late 3rd for me. But Damone Clark falls in the draft, and people go, oh shit. And all of a sudden, like, Damone Clark is going to be like a second coming of like this fantastic player that we got late. You know what I'm saying?
Every linebacker from now on, you tell me, can they cover? That's my first question. Can they cover?
Yeah.
Because Clark and Barr could not.
Well, whatever linebacker playing with Van Der Esch, just let Van Der Esch cover. Barr can go. Barr's an old man. 2 more players. John Ridgeway don't even play for us no more, but John Ridgeway seemed to have been a fun little guy. And
playing in Washington, and he's playing.
He's a fun little guy. Probably would have liked to have that dude around for his year 2 thing. And I didn't see much of Devin Harper. I don't remember none of his preseason. He's probably gonna be a teams guy. Don't remember.
Maybe he could be a guy. I saw him running around on kickoff.
Long story short, I think we had a fantastic draft, Jeff. A fantastic 2022 draft. I think the 21 draft was pretty cool. We're going to talk about that. We should move on into to have a good 23 draft. I'm going to read my supers.
Can you see mine?
I cannot see yours. You can actually go to your YouTube dashboard, go to earn, and then dashboard, earn, or monetize, then go to supers. You can see your supers up there.
Let's see if I can find it.
I got DJ's World. He dropped a deuce. He says most important position other than wide receiver. I'm thinking O-line.
O-line.
Jeff probably thinks nothing's better than wide receiver. So me and him are pretty much
always wide receiver. Always wide receiver. Potentially one O-line spot. Potentially corner, but Bland, Diggs, Lewis, you're surviving there. But I do want one. Hell, linebacker could be a huge need if Van Der Esch is gone. Linebacker could be a gigantic need.
Yep, we got a lot of stuff to talk about between now and then. Mika drop 5 says, "Make me feel better, Jeff and Voch." Yo, buddy.
Make you feel better about what?
Yo, buddy.
Your mama sure does care about your schooling, son.
What you want us to do, my guy? He says 28 years old, 28 years and not even an NFC championship. I'm tired. Well, I'm 30, bro. So I wouldn't.
Nothing we can do about that.
I can't do nothing about it, bro. Just hang tight. We good to go.
Supers.
We'll get there.
Oh, I found him.
There you go, Jeff.
I see the supers.
There you go, my guy. Nick dropped the deuce and says, "Will y'all scout kickers this year?" No. Appreciate you. Dylan S said he dropped the deuce and says, "Cheers, fellas. A third of a pint on me." Appreciate you, my guy. Me and Jeff had a drink in real life one day. And Roddy Muspum dropped a 5 and says, "What about safety and a huge 350-pound D tackle?" I think they're going to draft D tackle every single year. And I think Malik Hooker is probably outrun his coverage here. So they may be looking at safety at some point, but I feel like we look at safety every damn year. Or it could be Izzy. Go ahead, Jeff.
Supers. It's the usual cast of characters. Thank you, Vance. Dallas Cowboys YouTube mega powers are back. Anyone you'd be willing to trade up for? I don't know yet, Vance. We're going to get there, though. Formula, of course, is dropping bombs. Extremely sad the Cowboys season is over. Extremely happy Scoutcast is back. Wide receiver or corner at 26, wide receiver at 26, and every other pick. Keith, hey, Jeff and Voch. I'm going to try doing my own scouting for this year. Do y'all have any tips? And how do you go about making your board and notes?
Trust your eyes and don't listen to nobody else, bro.
That's true. Don't listen to anybody. Just find somebody else's list, go down and watch them all, and literally write down when you're watching. Is there something I see consistently? Is there a reason he gets open? Is there a reason he can cover? Is there a reason he can't cover? Just write down the pros and cons of people, and you'll be on your way.
I learned this from Jeff, right? Like, some players don't need super duper nuance. Like, if you watch an offensive lineman, bro, you don't have to say, well, is the angle that his right thumb lined up with the left bicep placement and pass protection?
Jeff can type. He's strong as shit.
Is he strong? Does that motherfucker go backwards? Does he hit the ground? Also, too, Jeff, like, as a Cowboy scout, we have to make adjustments, right? Because I'm floor guy. I'm not ceiling guy, because some dudes with these low floors and high
That's not
ceilings,
true, because we both liked Kelvin Joseph because we were chasing ceiling.
Kelvin Joseph got traits though. You know what I mean? Kelvin Joseph had some nuanced traits in his
Well, yeah, but the floor on a guy who gets kicked off all his college teams is low, and we did not care.
What I'm saying though, Tyler Smith's technique was horrific, and that made me go, yeah, that dude at guard would be cool, man. But I don't know if his technique can translate. When I'm watching players this year, I'm accounting for the idea that the Cowboys developed the shot of players. Israel McCollum was not the dude that he was at Carolina. That dude's a totally different dude now. So when you're watching, just watch with the idea that if there are technical flaws, Cowboys could probably fix that. Go ahead, Jeff. My bad.
R-Web, Jeff, regarding the EPA thing, Malik Davis and Ferguson showed up on that metric. Let Schultz walk, cut Zeke. Running backs are Pollard and Davis. Tight ends are Fergie and Hendy. I ain't gonna fight you on it. Go ahead. Gimli, Lord of the Rings is the best. Guys, I'm such a huge Dak fan. You see me moving my head because I'm moving my head around my camera to read the words. Guys, I'm such a huge Dak fan, but even I have to admit that his performance in this and the last Niners game gives me pause. That being said, we go out and get D-Hop and Evans. We're winning the Super Bowl. I don't think we got the cap space for both, but if they find a way to get one, I'd love it. Eric, love this duo. Much respect to both of you gents. Jeff, your hair is freaking awesome. No, my hair looks stupid right now, but I didn't have time. Voch, Jeff, is there a sauce in this draft from North Carolina's biggest Cowboy fan? I don't know yet, but I'll let you know when I know.
Who he said, Jeff? He wanted
Mike Evans and DeAndre Hopkins.
Mike Evans a free agent. Tom Brady leave. He's saying, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
I do think it's gonna happen. Oh wait, hold on. Is this a new one for me? I don't know. What about safety and a huge 350-pound D tackle from Rod? I would, yes, give me a safety and a huge 350-pound D tackle, because Donovan Wilson might be gone unless he wants to be really friendly to the Cowboys. Hooker's still under contract. Curse has another year, but they could probably use a DB.
Donovan is Marquise Bell, man. KC Podcast from the Closet dropped a deuce and says, draft a quarterback in the second, put pressure on Dak to perform. I would much rather get a dude that can help Dak, like a wide receiver or an offensive lineman. But I feel what you're saying, but I'm trying to help the team right now as opposed to think about, like, because Anthony Richardson ain't, if he falls to the second round or just some second round quarterback, they're not pushing Dak in real life. Like, that
draft QB in the second, put pressure on Dak, baby.
See, that ain't realistic to me. Like, I would much rather just get Dak an offensive lineman and a wide receiver, so we ain't got to run Noah Brown up against the second best the first best defense in the league. In my mind, that's what that what works for me. But whatever.
I'm seeing new ones as I scroll back up now. Solid duck. Thanks, Jeff. I wouldn't have started listening to Voch without your recommendation. So Voch, you're welcome for my existence. Alec, they should trade for Deontay Johnson or Chris Godwin. You guys keep naming good receivers. I'll take them all. I want all the receivers. I love Deontay Johnson coming out. And you know what? Big draft was like, he's an undisciplined route runner. And I was like, no, he's a get open son of a bitch is what he is. And then he got to the NFL, and what did he do? He got open like a son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. Trust what you see. Trust what you see.
Sons of bitches, I know those. Can they play? Can they play, bro? You ain't got to make it all technical and nuancey. You can, like, if you have an expertise in something, I like to get technical and nuancey with my offensive line stuff because I can. But it starts off with, is he strong and does he whoop people in front of him? Like, that's the baseline analysis there. Jeff, that's all my supers. That's all you got, sir?
I believe so. I think we are ready to rock and roll, Mr. Voch.
Cool. Hey, yo, chat. If y'all like, man, we do a board call on this shit, man. First Scoutcast for the year. Love y'all to pieces, man. Leave a like on Jeff's channel. Leave a like on my channel. If you're from my channel, you can go to Jeff Cavanaugh's channel. You spell it right there. That's how you spell it. If you're on Jeff's channel, you can come find Voch Lombardi. If you type in Voch, you'll find me. You know, we're both pretty Googleable. Voch, the Voch Lombardi page, the volume page. Check out both of them. We go live 4 times a week. We're considering Friday, Monday through Friday, at 3 p.m. Central. Also, we have a Patreon where we watch film. We'll be watching our draft film on Patreon. Currently, we're still wrapping up Cowboys, but after that, we'll be doing a draft film. And my non-football platform, twitch.tv/Voch Lombardi, will be, we like to watch nature documentaries. We listen to music. We watch movies and think piece, and we play Sickerdo and other little hard ass games that we get frustrated with. Jeff, plug all your things, sir.
Oh, I just got a late super chat. Ayub, he says, we're back. And you're damn right we are. And one guy is quickly losing respect for the show. Address the elephant in the room. I don't know what the hell that elephant would be. I'm assuming that you're just somebody who hates Dak Prescott. That would be my guess. But yeah, I don't need your respect either.
I don't see that person, but
basically, fuck them.
Go ahead.
Just remember that you have no idea what anybody's going through. And be cool to everybody. And I love you. Goodbye.
Kick rocks, bro. But I love Jeff though. But everybody else, I love everybody else too. But that one dude.
97.1 The Freak, 7 to 11 a.m. Listen to us on the radio in DFW or on the iHeartRadio app if you're outside the listening area. If you like the Cowboys, you want to hear about Cowboys shit, I usually do it at 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday. 97.1 The Freak.
Volume.